Hello everyone, welcome back to this workshop, this voice modulation workshop. My name is Savvy and today I will teach you how you can feminize your voice, masculinize your voice, make it sound really like anything you want it to sound like. So last week I wasn't around, I was sick, so now I'm feeling a little bit better. I might not have the full range that I usually have, but I'm doing well enough to be holding one of these workshops, so I hope you enjoy this one as well. Also, as a quick notice, we have the volunteer fair happening 1 hour after the end of this workshop, also in a VR Trans Academy world. So be sure to check this out if you want to maybe take part in the academy and help alongside, making this place an even better place. So, all right, I'll be giving a reminder after the lesson is the workshop is over, but I had to preface it with this first and foremost. Okay. So, as per usual, I start with explaining what we have to be careful about when it comes to voice. So, discussing vocal hygiene. When it comes to voice work, we are using vocal folds, which you might have heard be called vocal cords. And so they're like little flaps of flesh, flesh and tissue and a lot of things that are really finicky to work with. Most importantly, we're like working with like millimeters and centimeters, like really small dimensions of movement in our bodies. And so we have to respect it properly. By this, I mean we have to stay hydrated and we have to avoid doing any strenuous activities on our voices and properly warm up our voices. So if you are perhaps someone who smokes, who drinks alcohol, or who drinks a lot of coffee, know that all of these behaviors are dehydrating to their voice and that it doesn't make voice use impossible, just a lot harder. So try to cut down on these, or maybe try to work around it. If you have a morning coffee, prefer practicing your voice in the afternoon or the evening. And of course, make sure to drink water 15 to 10 minutes before doing any voice work. That is because when you drink water, the water does not go hydrate the vocal cords directly. It instead goes down your stomach, and then the hydration process happens through the blood flow, redistributing the nutrients and the water. So be sure to drink 10 to 15 minutes before doing any voice work. I just recommend to just drink water when you wake up. So have this nice little bottle of water at your nightstand. Okay, with that being said, there's also some medications that are known to be dehydrating, typically spironolactone, which is found in a lot of HRT treatments. That's treatment twice, sorry. But basically some medications like hay fever as well, and maybe other medications that you might not be aware that you might be taking, those could be dehydrating to your voice. So please don't stop taking those, okay? Just make sure to properly hydrate and if possible, try to work around it, just like with the other things. At the end of the day, body autonomy reigns supreme, so be sure to listen to your body and to try to work around it to the best of your abilities. Now, let's talk about what voice is about, and we'll talk about warm-ups at the end of this. So what is voice really about? Here we have the power source filter model. It's aiming to explain the voice in three main categories. Very simply put, we have air from our lungs that we push up. That air will then move up into this larynx, and the larynx houses the vocal folds. Now when the air reaches the vocal folds, they are set in motion, and as they vibrate, they create what we call a source sound. Now that source sound will then move up and reverberate in this space, which we call the vocal tract. And vocal tract can be really small or it can be really big, and by modifying the size of the vocal tract, we can already achieve a lot of darkness in a voice or a lot of brightness in a voice. And you can already kind of guess which tends to gender in which way, but we'll be discussing this again in a little bit. So again, we have air in our lungs, it moves up here in the larynx, the vocal fold starts to vibrate. As they vibrate, they create a sound, the source sound, and that sound will then get filtered by the mouth, by the nose, by the back of the mouth, which we call the pharynx. And all of these spaces all together modulate the sound. So just saying ah, e, o, u, moving the tongue and the lips in a certain shape is already shaping the sound. And by modifying the height of our larynx, we can completely change the read of the voice to make it sound a lot darker and thus a lot more masculine. But what is really a masculine voice? What is a feminine voice? Well, there's one thing that modifies, or rather allows us to perceive voices differently on a biological level. So, prosody, so the way you speak and rhythm your words, intonation, the way you move your pitch around really colorfully or in a really flat, monotonous manner. This really depends, more on social aspects. There is, however, testosterone, and testosterone is the main thing that will differentiate our voices. So I was plagued or blessed by testosterone, depends on how you see it. And testosterone had three things happen to my voice during puberty. First of all, my larynx
ended up dropping, so it created this much darker, larger sound. Then the second thing that happened is the vocal folds started to vibrate from really fast to really slow. And as the vocal folds vibrate slower, you'll hear that my pitch lowers as well. So we are already pretty much in like a masculine voice. And the third thing that testosterone does is, just like with the rest of the body, it increases muscle mass. And as it does, the vocal folds get thicker. And because they're thicker, we now have a really dark, big, boomy voice that sounds really masculine, right? And if we
revert all of these components, we can achieve a feminine voice. So in the case of voice masculinization, you're going to want to mimic the effects of testosterone, at least depending on what your voice goals are. And in the case of voice feminization, you want to revert the effects of testosterone. So, it is quite the path to take, but I'm sure I can teach you all how to do some of these things using some simple methods and some sound-based exercises. Now, with that said, this is pretty much all you need to know about voice. When it comes to making your voice more masculine, you want to have a bigger vocal tract.
you want to go as low as you can in pitch. And you want to be as boomy and as, have as much weight as possible to fill up that now bigger space.
And for a femme voice, you want to shrink the vocal tract.
Bring your pitch from high
to low, from low to high, sorry. And if your voice is
a bit abrasive, you want to make your voice softer, so then it can be much easier to move up to higher pitch and to a smaller size. All right, so that's pretty much it. Now let's try to do some vocal warm-ups. For this, you can unmute your mics if you want, and we can try to do some warm-ups together. I'll start with an O sound, as in the word old farm. Ol, holding that O sound like this. And I go first, and then we do this together. All right, let's go. Let's try this all together in 3, 2, 1. And back down. All right, now let's try this on a Z sound, as in the word zoo. I go first. And now we try this all together in 3, 2, 1. All right, and that's some warm-up. Of course, you might want to do this on your own a little bit more. You might want to, like maybe do 1, 2, 3 minutes of this, and not just these sounds. There's like lip trills you can do. You can also have like a straw in a bottle of water. And why do we do these silly sounds? There's a good reason for why we do them. The very simple reason is because once you use your voice, you have air in your lungs, and that air, moves the vocal folds from bottom to top, right? So that means that your vocal folds are always working under the strong pressure of our lungs. So by adding like some form of occlusion, some form of closure by like the teeth and the tongue, zzz, or like, for example, the lips as they trill, brrr, we create a counter pressure to the air in our lungs, and this allows the vocal folds to now vibrate with a bit less tension applied to them, or a little bit less force applied to them, which is a really good thing to do if you want to warm up your voice. All right, so this is the little tips on vocal hygiene and on warming up your voice. And now that everyone is on the same page regarding how voice functions and the very basics of it, we can start and go into the next section of this workshop. So, as I usually do for those who are new here, I usually have up on stage two people who want to feminize their voices and two people who want to masculinize their voices. If you would like to move up on stage, please jump, use your hand and raise it up, or use the hand emoji. I'll get started today with voice feminization. So I already see someone over here. Wanderer Mimi, yes. Have you already been on stage before? You have? Would you mind giving your place to someone who has not been on stage yet? Thank you very much. All right, Mercury Cells, you have not been on stage? All right, come on stage. Come on, come on, come on. Everyone give a big round of applause to Mercury. Woo! All right. Hello, hello. Hi.
Hi.
Okay, let me just start a little timer. Okay, we got a few minutes starting from now. Welcome, Mercury. First time in one of these workshops, or you've been around a little bit?
I've been to one of these workshops before, but I've not been on stage before. This is exciting.
All right. Hell yeah. Let's make it even more exciting. Let's get your voice to be as femme as possible. You have been around a little bit. Have you been able to practice a bit on your own? Feel like you got to somewhere? Or completely beginning, never done anything?
I've done a tiny bit, but I've not gotten very far.
Okay, very good. Well then, we'll do that all together. So, as I mentioned before, there's three things we want to do to feminize our voices.
If we start with like a voice like this, really masculine, dark, and boomy, right? We want to soften up our voices, so, you know, like a more gentle voice.
In your case, your voice is already quite gentle, so I think that will not be too much of an issue. Perhaps it might become a little bit thicker, like your vocal folds might get thicker as they go to higher pitches, or they might showcase more of that, but that will be something we'll be able to see just now. Can you give me a slide from your
Lowest pitch.
your highest pitch? Okay, what do we got here? Oh, what's the pitch? The E4, and then it starts to get breathy in your case. Oh, so your vocals are not properly closing. That's some range extension that could be worked on. No worries. I'm sure you got some more range that you could get from here. But all of the third octave is pretty much usable for a femme voice, so we should be good. Okay, I'm not too worried about this. Okay, then the next part is we have a soft voice, we have a high pitch. Now, what's the last thing we want to do? We want to shrink that vocal tract, achieve a smaller size so that you sound brighter. Quite literally, what we're doing is we're taking the vibration of your vocal folds, and it's like a big blob of sound, and we shape it so that the higher frequencies are more emphasized than the lower frequencies, right? The difference between a and a right? Same pitch, but a very different use of that same pitch. So how do we go about this? Let me load ourselves a slide that might make this a bit more helpful. Has the slide loaded for you?
Funnily enough, I have the stream on a window here. So I can't see it there, but I can see it here.
Oh, let me guess, UK?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I know it was my job, but like,
That's okay.
I'll get it fixed. I'll get it fixed.
I'm stupid, don't worry about it.
I know. I'm like trying to look for providers, and every new provider, it's like, nope, UK, nope, UK, nope. It's like a race against this. It's horrible, but I hope you'll find some closure just to see educational slides.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see this. First sentence.
Thanks, camera.
Yeah. All right, so that mad brat sat on that flat mat. If you were to read this in your current voice, how would that sound? That very first sentence. Yeah.
That mad brat sat on that flat mat. That mad.
Yeah, so, that mad brat sat on that flat mat. I already hear voice soft, going for like something quite intonated. So, that mad brat sat on that flat mat. It's still like a bit dark and a bit big, and it kind of like dips to a bit pitches that are a little bit too low. So what we're going to try first is to modify, like to remove a variable. We're going to remove intonation as a variable. So we're going to go just for like a monotonous pitch, just like, that mad brat sat on that flat mat.
That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
Very good. All right. Now what we have is this. That mad brat sat on that flat mat. It's not quite dark like that mad brat, but it's not quite bright. That mad brat, right? So we're kind of like in that in-between region. So what we want to do is, yeah, I'm hearing the whispers already. You know what to do. Okay. So how do you go about brightening your voice? Very good.
That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
Beautiful. Might I offer a suggestion here? When you do this, I'm hearing like a lot of friction in your throat. Like, I can tell you're kind of like squeezing something. The only thing I can imagine is that you're going to have to release that tension. And when you release it, you might lose a bit of that height from your larynx. So try to instead have a slide that doesn't sound as doesn't have as much friction. So instead of like, try instead for a much quieter, much easier. Yeah.
That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
Very good, much better. And then from here, that mad brat sat on that flat mat. We're gonna try to move up in pitch. Let me check actually, because I remember you struggled around E4. Da, 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 da. Be free, that's pretty high already. So let's try this. That mad brat sat, da la la la.
That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
Good. That mad brat sat on that flat mat. Okay, very good. And let's try this the other way around. That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
Beautiful. And now try this. That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
Very good. Da 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 da. Da, 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 da. So low, high, low. Now let's try this on a single vowel sound. So that mad.
That mad
Good. Brat.
brat.
Beautiful. Now that mad brat.
That mad.
It's okay, it happens.
That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
Very good. Be careful here. The mad brat sat on that flat mat. At the end there, it kind of dropped back to like a bigger size. You might have noticed this if you had like your hand on your neck and you could feel for the Adam's apple dropping down. The Adam's apple, by the way, is the cartilage part that's attached to the larynx. So that's one easy way to like feel for, oh God, sorry. Okay, that mad rat sat on a flat mat. Okay, one thing I might say is your voice is very quiet. I think we can maybe go ahead and have a little bit more texture. It's one thing to make it soft, but if you have like that mad rat sat on a flat mat, it's gonna be hard to be heard by people, and you're gonna be really quiet. So I know it's like what I say is like go softer. But your default mask voice, or mask voice, quote unquote, your baseline voice, I would say, is already very soft. So trying to go even softer might be a little too much, right? There's gradients. We don't have a
thick voice and a
thin voice. You know, like we have a gradient and a lot of voices in between that. We can have that mad brat, 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 and even further if you want to, but it's already starting to get a bit annoying. So we can try to maybe like push our voice a little bit. So try this. That mad, that mad, that mad. Try to have a bit more confidence.
That mad, that mad.
Yes. Just that much, no more. And then that mad brat sat on that flat mat.
That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
Beautiful. And now we're going to move a little bit. That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
Very, very good. Careful. That mad brat sat on that flat mat. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. Flat mat. So what we have is like flat mat. So we can do mat, flat mat. So just still a drop in pitch, just not as low. Yeah. That flat mat. Again?
That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
Okay, good catch. But now I can tell that your voice is trailing a little bit bigger in size. So that's because you're focusing on a lot of things, right? You're juggling with pitch, you're juggling with vocal fold mask, you're juggling with, vocal tract size. So you're getting really good at this. I think this is very beginner level, but you are already able to make your voice bright very reliably. I would say, what I would recommend is what we've done here was we've kind of rushed into fem voice, which was great because you still were able to do it fairly well in monotony. And you notice when your voice goes monotonous, it's very stable. It's very fem, right? It's like very fembot, like beep boop, that mad brat sat on that flat mat, right? But it's fem, right? It's not like a
beep boop, that mad brat sat on the flat mat, right?
So unmistakably fem. So now what I would recommend you do is maybe try to go monotonous on different pitches. So typically, and you could look at the Discord camera again for this. I hope it's not too small on your end. But basically we have a bunch of pitches, and also for everyone watching here, whoops, that's my wall. For everyone watching here, this is common socially gendered ranges, right? We can have masc voices way up here, and we can have femme voices way down here, okay? This is more a suggestion of what is possible to do. Now, what I would recommend you do is try to work around this range. Your voice actually goes all the way up to here, although these few pitches get a bit breathy, right? So you don't have quite proper closure there. Maybe that's something for you to work at, to increase your range gently and slowly. But all of these pitches, you can take the time, G3 would be here. That mad brat sat on that flat mat. G sharp 3. That mad brat sat on that flat mat. That mad brat sat on that flat mat. That mad brat sat on that flat mat. Yeah, and that's also good for lower pitches, because I know you don't really think about this, but when you finish the sentences, that mad brat sat on that flat mat, right? It's there's no convenient landing point for your voice in terms of pitch. So using C3, C sharp 3, these are a bit on the limit of what you could hear in most femme voices. But E3, D sharp 3, D3, these pitches are pretty good to practice as well. That mad brat sat on that flat mat. Yeah, very good. Because then you can go, that mad brat sat on that flat mat. And then on that nice E3.
That mad rat sat on that flat mat.
Very good, exactly. And so what you want to be careful with is every time you go lower in pitch, there's a non-null chance that you just that mad brat sat on that flat note, right? That your Adam's apple goes back to its lower position. So these are just things for you to work with, watch around, watch out for, sorry. And yeah, it's more a matter of you now have the tools, you even have the proficiency to do them. It's more a matter of becoming aware of these and making sure to apply it as often as you can, make it, come at the forefront of your mind whenever possible. Try to make it grow into your habit, basically. And that's pretty much it, Mercury.
Thanks very much.
All right, you're very welcome. Everyone give a big round of applause to Mercury. You killed it. Woo! All right. Now, next up on stage, I want to see someone who wants to make their voices sound more masculine. If you want to make your voice sound more masculine, please jump in place, raise your hand, or use the hand emoji. All right, Jaguar, have you already been on stage before? Nope. All right, then come up on stage. Come on, come on. Everyone give a big round of applause to Jaguar. Jaguar Pounce. Woo! Hello, hi, welcome. All right, let me set up a little timer. Oh, I can hear myself back in your mic.
Sorry about that.
Okay. All right. So we'll just like do a call and respond thing, and it should be fine. So, okay. Just let me know, what's your current experience with masc voice so far in voice training?
I've done it for a few months now, but yeah, not much.
I mean, like, a few months is not nothing. Like, you're already starting, like, kind of this kind of sound. I can tell it's, like, a little bit breathy. Like, the vocal folds are not fully closing in. It's, like, quite big and dark. You can tell, like, it's a pretty big size. What's the pitch here? It's like a G3. It's like, it's pretty high for most masc voices. Like, I suppose, like, if you had, like, a really big size and, like, really thick vocal folds, that G3 could sound like this, right? It kind of gives, like, opera singer voice, you know?
But like, this is kind of like the limitations of what we can do, because testosterone, to be honest, is a life hack when it comes to making your voice much deeper and darker. I mean, it's the whole thing. It like gives you more vocal fold mass. It lengthens and stretches the vocal folds so that they can vibrate more slowly. But within reason, we can find some voices that can end up really low. Like, one of the examples I always have is like, there is, for example, Shari Ashdlu, who is like a cis woman who doesn't have, or at least not to my knowledge, doesn't have testosterone in their body, you know, voluntarily taken. So it's very much possible for people without T initially in their body to have really deep voices. Same for like metal singers. Like, you might find people who have like really deep voices despite not having testosterone. So with practice we can get quite far, but it might be more difficult than starting from where I start, going more feminine, right? Because I already have all the material. I just choose to use the material differently. You don't have all that material. You kind of have to work and chip away at it a little bit more. So okay, but it's already a really good start. Like,
We have, like, a big dark vocal tract. We have, like, quite a low pitch. G3.
maybe you can try to go even lower. But what I would want to do first with your voice, I think, is probably like try to find more closure.
So that you avoid that breathiness and you have more closure, so like your voice can sound more textured.
As a result. So let's try just that.
Alright,
But for this, we need to talk about vocal fold closure. So what is vocal fold closure about? Very graphical graph here. Can you see it, by the way?
yeah.
Okay, cool. So basically, this is what your vocal folds look like if you were to shine a camera down your throat. And what it would look like is this little inverted V shape, or an A shape without the bar, I suppose. And so your vocal folds are the things in white. Now, as your voice happens, your vocal folds vibrate really quickly between this position and this position, and they go like really fast. To give you an idea, this is an A3, a pitch A3. That's 213 hertz, at least that's the one I'm doing. And that means the vocal folds are opening and closing 213 times per second. Pretty fast rate. In your case, the G3 you're doing, it's like around 200 hertz, right? So 200 opening and closing of the vocal folds. And so as they open and close, they don't necessarily have to fully touch and fully close. And when they don't fully touch and don't fully close on each cycle, then we get what we call a breathy voice, right? It's a voice where the air leaks past them, right? It's like the vocals never fully close. So to achieve more closure, we can use two things. Either we can use vocal fry or creak. It's basically like this sound, right? Just creak. Is that a sound you know how to do?
Yeah, I've been doing that a little bit.
Okay, very cool. Also, I'm tracking your voice here. I've been doing that a little bit. So we've gone to an F sharp freeze, so you can go lower than G3. Good to know, good to know. Okay, cool. So, creak is good. But how easy is it for you to do? Like, would you say you have to like force it, or is it like rather easy to do when you lean into it? Can you try and produce it now?
What do you mean, like a creek?
Yeah.
Yeah. That good?
That's very good. Yes. So as you can hear, we have. Right. Okay. Very good. So when you creak, you basically are always in that position. Okay. That's a bit of a lie. It's like this position, but like there's like tiny openings along the vocal folds that will open and let air escape. So what you hear in creak is literally like tiny bubbles of air escaping through this otherwise completely closed position. And so you can see where this is going because we want to avoid your voice being breathy. So we want to have more of that closure. We want to have more of that that adduction of the vocal folds closing in together. So basically, we can try to do a slide from a breathy voice to a balanced voice into a creaky voice. So it should sound something like this. Imagine my hands are the vocal folds. And the other way around as well. Just to play around on how we can open and close the vocal folds whilst holding phonation. So let's give this a try. I want you to try to hold a breathy sound and go towards a creak. Try it out. That was very good. I would actually say that you started unbalanced and not on breathy. So that's quite good. And now we want to go from creaky into balanced and maybe breathy. So, try it out. Okay, very good. So you have a really good control of that creak. That's awesome to hear. So now, I want to try a few sentences and then we'll wrap up. Okay, so here, let's see that very first sentence. Can you give your best attempt at reading this in your masc voice? That very first sentence up here, that mad brat.
That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
Okay, so we have this. Oh, G sharp 3. That mad brat sound like that. Quite big, quite hollow.
Not too breathy. Can I hear it once more, please?
That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
Very good. All right. Now I'm going to try to see how far down we can go. Maybe we can try to achieve a lower pitch.
That mad brat sound on that flat mat.
Try it out.
That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
That mad brat sound on that flat mat.
We gotta like reach around F sharp free. Okay. How about a slide from your highest down to your lowest? Like, oh. Here at the end. Oh. At the end there. Oh. You kind of like reach down to D3. Oh my gosh, that's so much lower. So you definitely have potential to reach much lower pitches. But can you reliably get there? Maybe, maybe not. So, can you try it again, but try to hold that low sound at the end? Yes. That's around E3. That's really good. We went from G free to F sharp free to F free to E free, right? That's like 3 or 4 semitones. That's nothing to be shy about. In terms of vibration speed of your vocal folds, you basically removed 40 cycles of vibration in the second. So that's really good. Okay, cool. Almost 150 hertz. So that's really, really good. Now, could we try to keep it more reliably? So maybe try to like commit that to muscle memory. Whenever you reach it,
Once you have that sound, you kind of pause, freeze frame, kind of like analyze how your body feels.
You know, then reset to whatever natural position you have, and then think about how it felt, and try to aim for it again. Give it a try.
It's kind of it's deeper. It's just hard to sustain, but
Okay,
pretty
yeah.
good.
Yeah, it is.
It's deeper, it's hard for us to see.
Okay, F sharp 3, not quite the E3 we had before, but, you know, like, it's getting there. Now I want to hear you read a little bit more of this, because the issue was breathiness, and we haven't quite addressed that. So let's try this.
Oh, that mad brat sat on that flat mat.
Oh, that mad brat sat on that flat mat.
Okay, that mad brat sat on a flat mat. So we're back to G3, still pretty high. Oh, that mad brat sat on a flat mat.
Not too much breathiness issue. I think it's mostly a thing that happened at the start of when we started talking here. Maybe just being more mindful of the creak here helps you avoid that. Let's try something different. I want to see, can you maybe parse and add a little bit of creak in there? So,
That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
kind of like juggle a bit in and out of creak.
That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
It still seems to be like more of an all or nothing thing with your creak.
So that mad brat sat on that flat mat.
So, let's try this instead. That's not really useful. Try just to say the word ashes. Ashes to ashes. So we're gonna say
Ashes to ashes.
try it out.
Ashes to ashes.
Okay, pretty good. Ashes to ashes.
Yeah, I know. Also, something I noticed is your creak sounds like this. Instead of sounding like this. The difference might not seem like much to you, but it's in the vibration rate and, you know, kind of like in the relaxed state of it. So we can have creaks that are like really tense, like, right? Or creaks that are really relaxed. And those more relaxed creaks tend to merge a lot more easily into a balanced sound, into a proper phonation. So, it's not so much like an all or nothing thing, like right? And I think that's because you probably like work too much tension into your creak. You'd maybe want to like try to see if you can do the creak really relaxed, like with the bare amount of air, like just. It shouldn't feel like you're holding back air, like. It should just feel like you're breathing out like a very gentle stream of air, and then bringing your vocal folds in. Super relaxed, right? So that's kind of tricky to do. Something maybe more for you to like experiment with on your own and see how you can like practice with this. But one of the good things I want to say is that you are technically able to go as far down as E3, maybe D sharp 3. I've heard sometimes when you're like speaking on and off, but they're not like your main pitches. So I think there's definitely like some practice for you to be doing here in like the pitch department. You're mostly here at G3, but these pitches are sometimes accessible for, I guess, like more or less nebulous reasons. But like using a more relaxed creak can allow your vocal folds to vibrate more slowly, because lower pitches happen thanks to slower vibrations, and slower vibrations happen thanks to generally more relaxed vocal folds. The more tense vocal folds are, the faster they want to vibrate, basically. This is also part of why when people get angry, they kind of go higher in pitch, because, you know, they kind of like tense up and like they get angry and they go to higher pitches, you know, instead of kind of like keeping their cool and just being low and chill. So that's maybe something for you to work at, like working like on a gentler airflow, working on kind of like weaving in and out of closure, to like achieve that creak more reliably, and kind of like work that vocal fold relaxation into your voice more. It might feel like it's going against your idea of
going for a thick sound, you know, like
You might want to have your voice sound boomy, etc., etc. But going directly for like that boomy sound, if you can't do these low pitches in the first place, you know, that might be a bit iffy. Again, like there might be different paths for different results when it comes to voice, or for the same result when it comes to voice. So this is the path I choose to have you go on, and maybe you might find other paths and avenues. So generally try to work a bit more with Creek. Try to work on having all of this range become part of your voice. F sharp free, F3, E3, and D sharp free, because I've definitely heard some of these happen during our practice time here, and I'm sure you can incorporate them to your voice over time. Okay?
Alright, I have one more question now.
Yes, go on.
About vocal weight. I'm
Yep.
just starting it and I'm not that good at it. Is
Right.
there any things that I can practice to help with that?
So typically, this is one of the things that I mentioned before. Is like, it's you know, it doesn't feel fair for me to give you that advice as a person who has had testosterone, right? Because
for me, weight is super easy, right?
it's part of the package of testosterone. So for someone who has had less testosterone, it's much more difficult, right? Like you don't have the cheat code hack of
Now you have more muscle in your voice, you know?
I suppose like there is definitely actresses. So I'm just saying actresses more so like AFAB with no testosterone prior in their body that can achieve something crazy. Metal vocalists, as I mentioned, or voice actors, actresses, etc. So it's possible. What I generally recommend when it comes to like vocal weight is to you can go at this two ways. You can like find first a thick sound at higher pitches because, you know, maybe like before your voice practice, you might have been more comfortable up here. And if you're more comfortable up here, you can maybe find a heavier sound more reliably here. It's not super nice sounding, but like it might be more reliable to start from here and then try to take that and go lower in pitch with this.
And then take that heavier sound lower.
Generally, these sounds require a lot of closure of the vocal folds and a lot more air. So it's a subtle dance between how much you can close the vocal folds and how much you can close them against a stronger and stronger and stronger resistance of the air that's coming from your lungs because it's coming greater. Right? To be able to produce this sound, you have to kind of like force some air out. I like to think of like, you know, kind of like getting punched in the gut kind of feeling, like because you kind of feel the diaphragm push on your lungs, like right from your belly pushing on your lungs. And it forces the air to expel. And then the vocal folds have two choices. Either they give up, and then it's just like air leaves your body, or they don't give up and they fight against that,
and you can have a thicker sound.
So like these are some ways that you can try and practice finding that vocal weight. Okay,
Alright, thank you.
you're super welcome. Everyone give a big round to Jaguar Ponce. Woo! All right, all right. Whew. Next up on stage, I want to see someone who wants to make their voices sound more feminine. If you want to make your voice sound more feminine, jump in place, raise your hand, or use the hand emoji. All right. The Ted Dashi, have you already been on stage before? You have not? I guess if you get closer, it's a yes, it's a no, it's a
No.
All right, everyone, give a big round of applause to Dashi. Woo! I never know how to pronounce the name, like T-E-H. Is it the? Is it te? I know, honestly.
It's just a badly spelt te or the.
Te? Yeah, you said it again, te. It's the, isn't it?
Yeah, it's badly
Okay.
spelt the.
Nice, alright, cool, I got it. Alright, welcome up on stage. Have you already been in one of these workshops before? Or very first
No.
time?
First
Wow,
time.
there's always so many new timers. Oh wait, have you already done some voice work on your own prior to this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Glad to hear this. I can already hear it in your voice as well. I mean, like,
As long as you're not starting down here, I pretty much assume.
that you have done some voice work.
Yeah.
Okay, pretty good. But you never know where people start from. In that case, I suppose given where your voice is starting from, are you familiar with vocal folds mass, with pitch, with vocal tract
Yeah.
size?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, vocal tract size, resonance. You might have seen the word resonance come up online a bit more. That's what I'm referring to. Okay, I'm already hearing something very feminine, so I just say we put your voice to the test and we see what fails and what is good. And if something fails, it might not. We'll try to see if we can fix it or give you some tips on how we can do it better. Has the slide on the board loaded for you? Hopefully you're not in the UK. Hopefully.
Content is not viewable in your region.
No! I'm so sorry. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, you can pull up this Twitch stream. Yeah, you're more vrchat savvy than I am. I'm just savvy, just not
Where's the
vrchat
Twitch stream?
savvy. You can just like go into. Yep, it's in the notice to the event. No, I don't want to edit the notice. Oops. Okay. Have you found it? Oh.
We have pictures if they want to use it. If this is fine.
Do you just have pictures like that laying around? Oh, that works.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, we've got this. Take a look at this. Here we go. Thank you so much. All right. I really gotta fix this. So, let's try this. Can you give a read on that first sentence with your current voice?
Hello. Good morning. How are you?
All right, this is what I hear. Hello. Good morning. How are you? So we have hello, quite good. But then, good morning. How are you? It's a bit low in pitch. It's not impossibly low. Like it's not like a
Good morning, how are you?
right, but like hello. Don't laugh. Hello. Good morning. How are you? It's more like dabbling on that more non-binary edge of like pitch. Hello, good morning, how are you? If you want to make that sound reliably feminine, you want to make your voice really soft, like hello, good morning, how are you? Right? If you have like the slightest hint of vocal fold mass, like hello, good morning, how are you? It still works, but it kind of like reaches kind of like, why are you able to do so much vocal fold mass at this low of a pitch? I kind of feel like something's happening here. So let's try to make our voices really soft here. Hello, good morning, how are you?
Hello. Good morning. How are you?
So here, hello, good morning. We have this vocal fold mass again. It's okay. We'll work on this, all right? So what I want you to do is to give me the quietest sound you can do. Like something like... Make sure your mic is properly open as well so that you can have noise suppression turned off and your mic activation threshold to 0%. So we can hear every little sound. All right. And now I want you to try and say, hello, good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
All right, even quieter. Hello, good morning. Like almost not coming through.
Hello. Good morning.
Very good. What this is teaching you is to use a voice with like the bare minimum of air, right? Like we're going to the extremes of softness in our voices. Now, hello, good morning. How are you?
Hello. Good morning. How are you?
That's very good. All right. And then from here, we might want to go a little bit louder. So we're not like doing like a hello, good morning. How are you? But maybe something more like a hello, good morning. How are you? Still very gentle, mostly.
Hello. Good morning. How are you?
Carefully here. Hello, good morning. How are you? This time, it's not an issue of vocal fold mass, but an issue of resonance. Hello, good morning. So let's try this. More. Let's try to make the more sound brighter on that low pitch.
Hello. Good morning.
Whoops. Hello. Good morning. So what I want you to do here is match my pitch here.
Ooh.
All right, I want you to say the good, and good, good. So, good.
Good.
Good. Now I want you to try to make it really dark, like an opera singer.
Oh, good.
Good.
All right? And now I want you to do this with a whisper.
Good.
Good, good, good morning. Small space. Try it out.
Good. Good.
Ah, you're not whispering here. Or maybe it's not coming through. Perhaps your mic is set so that it's not coming through, but
Good, good.
I heard good, good, good. It's like it was kind of voiced. I want to hear it unvoiced. Yes, good. And now we want to go from what? This bright good to this pitch. This pitch is, by the way, it's one of the lower pitches. Oh, sorry. Oh, D3. So, good, good. Close the vocal folds on that small sound. Try it out.
Good.
Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning.
Careful. Good more. Good morning. Still gentle?
Good morning.
Yes. Hello. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Beautiful. How are you?
How are you?
How are you? All right. Nice. Awesome. Good job. So, this is kind of like the crux of lower pitched voices. It's hard to be loud with lower pitches. I mean, hello, good morning, how are you? Like, it's not impossible, it's just a lot of work. Mostly because when people hear low pitches that sound really loud and very well textured, they're like, wait a second, that's off. I expect only testosterone having voices to do this. So like, most of the times it reads a lot more feminine to be quieter, but not so much quieter, but like to be thinner with the vocal folds. Of course, you can have like, hello, good morning. Or we can have, hello, good morning. Have like more air and more closure, which creates a louder voice without having to thicken the vocal folds, because thickness is literally a matter of having more or less muscle engaged in the phonation process. It's not a thing of the vocal folds closing more or less, even though it does definitely play with the closure in terms of like it does impact it. But like, hello, good morning here. If you want to be louder, you're gonna have to kind of like still be really soft. Good, 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 good. And kind of like make sure that the vocals are properly closed and the air increasing gently. Good, 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 good morning. So that you don't stress your vocal folds too quickly into a thicker sound. Otherwise, you could just try to go for higher pitches. But that could feel like a cop-out. So I guess the thing I should have asked you first is, do you want a higher femme voice in the first place? Because you could rock a lower femme voice too. That's fine as well.
I don't know really. I'm kind of want a higher pitch voice, but a lot of people say that it's fine how it is.
It's what, sorry? It's fine nowadays?
It's fine how it is.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, technically, I don't know. I don't have anything against queer voices. I love non-binary voices. I love voices that are like lower. Like low femme voices are great. You know, high femme voices are great. I don't know, like high masc voices are cool too, right? Like it's not a matter of what is fine. It's a matter of what you like. And I know maybe it's difficult for you because you're like, I just want to sound femme, perhaps. I don't know. Maybe you just want to sound like something that feels like you, or just like that feels like more inscribed into what your gender perception is of yourself. But yeah,
I want
like
to sound more femme.
sound more femme. So like what I did
Yeah.
here is I just took your voice as it currently is, and I gave you advice on how you can make that current voice sound more femme more reliably. Typically, you're juggling a lot with like lower pitches, right? Like, hello, good morning, how are you? But these lower pitches have a very strong tendency to have your vocal folds go thicker. So, hello, good morning, how are you? Right? Because as we know,
Masc voices tend to have a lot more vocal weight in them, right? So
you might not notice it, but like it's your voice subtly reverting to what it used to sound like prior to your voice training. Now, that's not the only thing. Also, just like lower pitches are generally read as more masculine, or at least as more like androgynous. So, yeah, it's a matter of keeping your voice really soft on lower pitches and keeping your lower pitches a bit limited, because you don't want to go crazy low. Like, you can certainly have like a really low femme voice like so, but like even this, even if it's nice to hear, even if it's like a really femme voice, even that is not super usual for people to hear. Like, it's a fairly uncommon type of voice, right? So you gotta rock that. It's a matter of, you know, like what you want to have. Of course, I know I sound like a broken record, but it's really what it is. So yeah, just be sure to keep your voice really soft on lower pitches. Make sure to not go too low in pitch. The slide is not going to work for you, but if you're familiar with like music theory, like pitches like C3 and C#3 should be like your hard limit. Like going below that is generally kind of tricky, and the issue that we had on your voice was generally around C3, D3 in terms of your voice going too dark or going too thick, you know? So that's mostly the ones you're going to want to use. And just, you know, just having like most of your voice being in low pitches doesn't mean you have to ban higher pitches, right? You can very much have, hello, good morning, how are you? I'll have a cup of coffee, please, right? Like, make a wide use of your range if you want to sound well intonated and, you know, have a bit more emotion and life poured into your voice. So yeah, that would be pretty much my advice for you, Dashi.
Okay.
Do you have any questions?
No, I don't think.
All right. Well then, you already have a really strong start. Just make sure to keep your voice soft on lower pitches. Maybe try to work a bit towards the higher pitches and incorporate them, so you don't have to use just really low pitches, right? To like have your range move around, because your voice is going to want to move around no matter what. You're not going to want to be monotonous the entire time. So make sure to explore these higher pitches and make sure to make those lower pitches softer, and you should be good to go.
Okay.
All right. You're super welcome. Everyone give a big round of applause to Dashti! Woo! All right. Next up on stage, last but not least, is someone who wants to make their voices sound more masculine. So if you want to make your voice sound more masculine, please jump in place, raise your hand, or use the hand emoji. All right, who we got here? Dreamel Arch. Have you already been on stage before? All right, come up on stage. Come on, come on. Everyone give a big round of applause to Dreamel. Woo! All right, please tell me you can see the slides and it's not broken.
Hi.
Hi.
It's
Hello,
not
hello.
broken, I can see him.
Hell yeah, awesome. All right, perfect. So, let's see. First time ever in one of these workshops then, huh?
Yes.
All right, well, welcome. Oh, we're a bit short in time, so it's gonna be 6 minutes. Okay, so, are you familiar with vocal tract size, vocal fold mass, pitch, all of these technical words? Or not so much?
Yes, I do. I used to
Oh,
be
cool.
a singing coach.
Oh, no way. That's crazy.
Yes.
What happened?
I stopped
Just tell me.
because
Oh, okay.
because I hate my own voice.
No, don't let that happen. Well, here's to me.
I can still do that.
Well, I know, but, you know, okay. My mission here is to reconcile you with your voice. You are familiar with vocal tract size. You are familiar with pitch, you're familiar with vocal fold mass. It depends. I don't know what kind of singing teaching you learned to become a coach. So have you used like, how do you call this? Yeah.
I'm good to teach others with their own voice, but
Yes. Not yourself.
I no.
It's like, listen to what I say, but I don't do what I say kind of vibe. Oh no. It's like me saying like, don't drink coffee, and I drink coffee this morning. But look, I needed it, okay? But all right, so, all right, cool. Let's see. What's your vocal range
Sorry,
like?
I freeze a lot.
It's okay. What's your vocal range like?
I know I'm a soprano.
Okay.
This is my normal voice.
Yep.
I can do this voice.
All right, that's pretty high.
Yeah, I can go even higher.
I bet. Could you try and give me a slide from your highest to your lowest pitch? Right, that was an incredible D6, by the way. That was insane.
Thank you.
It's like around an A3. Okay, cool. How does it sound if you try to hang out around that lower pitch? Can you hold it?
I cannot.
Oh no.
From experience, I cannot because at some point it takes a lot of air out of me, and at some point it even hurts.
Okay, so what if you try to like improve the closure of your vocal fold? Like if you like use creak, or if you try to like do glottal attacks, like or even like using softies, right? Like so, warm-up exercises. You're familiar with those.
Yeah. Usually when I do the it's a bit higher than what I want.
Okay. Could we try to do the following? Trying to keep that vibration going as we go down. Give it a try.
Yes. Sorry, I'm freezing a lot.
It's okay, it's okay. I heard the end there. That was really good. You actually landed on an F sharp 3, which is lower than the A3 you gave me before. So you are reaching newer lows, which lows are highs for masc voice, just so you know. Like, well, anyways, you get it. So F3, quite pretty good. Are you trilling your uvula here? Are you French, perhaps? Oui, oui?
Yes.
No, you actually are.
A bit
Oh no.
I know.
Je suis désolée.
I have a really good R.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love my platypus R. Go like.
Okay, only in this workshop. Ooh, that's solid. Oh, nice. Oh, hey, that was D3. Oh, can you hold that without the trill? No, I'm serious. This actually is unlocking the lower parts of your voice. Yeah.
I can try.
Oh. Ooh, F3. Yeah. Ooh, cool. Let's try to hold it for a bit. Ooh, try to tap it. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh, I definitely trailed back up. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ah, shucks. You're gonna find this really funny, but I'm actually gonna recommend that you do the platypus R, because that's what has given the lowest pitch so far in your voice.
Yes.
I'm not even
that's why
kidding.
I like it so much.
All right, so G3. Yes. That's E3. Ooh. So how do you do this? I see you raise your head. Do you just do this with like?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes, I usually raise my head so my neck can stretch a little bit.
Right.
So I'll have enough skin to flap around with my neck.
The skin doesn't flap. I mean,
I know, but it feels like that. I'm always
fair.
describing to my students how it should feel rather than how it actually works.
I'm not a huge fan of that method, but I can understand where you're coming from.
I mean, it works.
It depends. Like what you're describing is sympathetic vibration, right?
Yes.
Like the masc.
It what works the most.
I would have to disagree. This is just like different teaching point of views. But like this is like more something that comes from like classical singing. It might apply really well to like singing like in the choir, for example. For voice training, I tried
Which
to
I
like.
used to be.
Yeah, exactly. Like it makes sense because you like use the wording like soprano and stuff like that.
Yes.
But like generally speaking, I try to have people focus more on the sound itself rather than like the feeling, because what I feel might be different for you, might be different for everyone, because we have like very different body types, right? Like
Yes.
if you feel exactly. So like, yeah, I tried to like go more for this, but like from the sound you had here, like if we're able to like remove the vibration of the trill and like maybe try to speak with that, then you could have something really good. But most importantly, this is just for you reaching a lower pitch. What happens if you try to go really dark? Like if you try to like, would know about this. If you have sung in a choir, you know that in a choir, you don't want to sing really bright. You want to sing really big, right? So that you don't have your frequencies overtake on the other singers. The yawn voice, exactly. So I want you to like give me like a big yawn and then try to keep that yawn and speak in that yawn. Well, maybe not yawn that high, but like try to yawn.
This is like.
Okay, could we try it? Yeah. And then can we try to make that platypus yawn? Like.
No.
Ah, shucks. I'm imagining because you're yawning, you're probably like opening the back of your mouth, and the uvula just doesn't want to cooperate as much. But like that's like step 2. First, like remove the uvular trill, and then once you have it, you can yawn. Another way you can do this is by using whispers, right? So, can you say the word "pat that cat" on a whisper, like "pat that cat"?
Pat that cat.
Great. Now just say the word "pat," and I want you to make that really dark. So from a really small "pat pat" to "pat pat 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 that cat." Try it out.
Pat 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 pat.
Very good. As you do this, right? Pat 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 pat. Right? Pat that cat. You might feel that your Adam's apple drops low. I mean, like your larynx drops lower. And as it drops lower, oh god, I don't know if you're freezing too much, because I saw you like.
Yeah, sorry,
flip.
I froze
Okay,
again.
that's okay. So as you reach that really big space, can you then try to go into a voice like, pat that cat. Okay, yeah. Like it's already sounding like much more hollow, right? Right? And quite dark.
Yes.
Pat that cat. Another thing I want to say is, I saw you move your head when you did the pat from bright to dark. You did this. Like you're like kind of like brought your head down. You basically want to try and avoid like moving your head too much. Just like kind of like try to like go as low as you can in a neutral position, because you're just going to be like speaking, moving around. You want to use your voice reliably. Like you don't see me like with my head forward, tilted up to like have the brightest voice ever. You know, like I'm pretty free of my movements. I can move my head wherever I want.
I usually do that to focus on the tone.
Oh, fair enough. Well, if that's like a focus thing, but like I would try to advise like against it. Maybe like you could try to find it once, and then maybe once you have it, like maybe try like to like not rely on it as much, to like use it more reliably. So use the pads from bright to dark to find a bigger vocal tract. Use the platypus sound to find lower pitches because you're capable of going as far down as D3. So D6 to D3, that's 3 entire octaves. Mind you, that's crazy range. Maybe you could even break past that limit, especially if you have spent so much of your time singing, whether it is with methodology I agree with or not, you have that connection to your voice, right? It would be a shame to sever it because dysphoria. And, you know, like you have such wide range and probably voice acting skills too, from what I've heard from your high pitches. So don't despair. You're capable. You can do this. And yeah, like... Just try to drill at it, try to practice at it, try to tinker at it a little bit at a time, and eventually you'll reach something that you like. Okay?
Yes.
All right, that's pretty much all the time I got for you. Everyone, give a big round of applause to Dream Large. Woo! Ah, this platypus moment was amazing. My gosh. Only in the savvy workshops. Okay, Rory, do we got any questions from Twitch or from the Discord? Also, V, yes. All right, any questions from Discord, V?
None right now. I put out a last call, so I'm waiting a second, but none right now.
All right. Maybe we have questions from the audience. So if any of you have questions, I'll be taking 1 or 2 person. If you want to ask a question, please come closer to the stage and I'll try my best to answer it. Don't be shy. I don't bite. All right. No questions. Everything is crystal clear to everyone. Well, I'm glad it is. Means I did a good job. Oh, no, I don't know if I saw people move. Nope. Okay. Still no questions?
Nope.
All right. Then I guess we'll be wrapping this one up. Okay, everyone. So I'm glad to be back and not sick. It's nice to have my voice again. Anyways, what I want to tell... How many tablespoons of salt is the right amount when warming up to voice train? None. No, I mean, technically some salt is good, I've heard, because like salt and water retention and whatnot, but I don't know. Maybe 6-7 milligrams? Okay, I'm gonna end this now. Okay, cool. All right, so everyone, thank you so much for hanging around for this workshop. I hope you learned something in this workshop today. All right. Yeah. These happen every Sunday, just so you know. So if you want to catch the next one, it will be happening next Sunday again, and the next Sunday, and the next Sunday. So if you didn't have your chance to move up on stage, or if you didn't get to ask your question, be sure to hang around next time, as these happen weekly, normally. Other than that, we got a volunteer fair happening this next hour, I believe. So in like 45 minutes in the main instance of the Trans Academy. I'm not sure if that's correct, but like, do check the Discord, the VR Trans Academy Discord, and you'll be able to see that is correct. Thank you very much, Rory. In which case, you know, like, you will have your chance to meet the different team leads of the Academy. If you want to be part of the media team, the world team, the trust and safety team, of really anything, if you just want to be part of this and help this place be a nice community place that people can just, you know, chill in and do these lessons in and do a lot more. Like, there's Moonlit and other events. So we always need people. We're a charity and we always need like helping hands, quite literally. So yeah, be sure to show up there and maybe you'll find your call and your place in this, if that is what you wish for. So be sure in an hour-ish, more like 45 minutes something, to hang around in the volunteer fair. And yeah. All right, cool. So for all of these, those that are new and those who aren't, I do like this end of the blurble of the workshop thing. I have a Discord server called Scientifically Augmented Voice, which you can join in by clicking on my bio right here in vrchat. There's a link to my Discord server, Scientifically Augmented Voice. Why would you want to join it? I do public lessons on there, which you can attend to, listen in, and ask questions. So it's just extra content for you if the Sunday workshops are not enough. Of course, we also have like we also have like the hashtag voice training channel in the Discord server in the Trans Academy if you also want to ask questions and be part of, well, if you want to have like your voice review and stuff like that. We also have like Jessa, who does workshops, so like office hours every Tuesday, although it's been kind of like coming back and forth, but like it's coming back a lot more recently. And yeah, other than that, let me do the end of the workshop thing. Hey everyone, my name is Savvy. I teach voice feminization as well as
Voice masculinization.
I also teach stuff such as human beatboxing with sounds such as So if you want to learn any of this, I teach lessons, private or public lessons on Discord. You can find me at savvy_sav, all in lowercase letters, or on my Discord server, which you can join on my bio. Yeah, if you want to, someone was shocked from this. If you want to, schedule a lesson with me, or, I can like discuss pricing offerings over in my DMs. So yeah, if you want to do something maybe in a less big space like this is possible for you. So thank you again, of course, Rory and V, for helping me host these workshops. Thank you so much for the help today. And yeah, everyone say bye to Twitch and bye to YouTube. Bye Twitch, bye YouTube, bye bye.